Welcome everyone to this week's video. This week I am turning a Padauk and Veneer bowl. So here I'm finding the center of the Padauk blank. Drilling a hole for the woodworm screw. And I get a lot of questions about where I get my wood, and the answer is really a variety of places, but this particular one I bought at my local Rockler store. So here I am cutting off probably about a ½ inch of the blank, and I'm going to be placing the veneer between the two pieces. Also purchased at Rockler a package of a variety of colors of the veneer, and here I'm just going to be laying them out to see which one I want to use with the Padauk. Ultimately I end up choosing the red, and I'm using a utility knife to cut it to size, and I'll be gluing it down with tight bond glue. So here, as you can see, I'm using some clamps to clamp the pieces together. I end up letting them sit overnight, although we don't have to let them sit that long. I just did because it was convenient for me. I end up using, I don't even know how many clamps, a lot of clamps, just to be sure. It was probably a little overkill, but it worked, so. And here I am back the next day, taking the clamps off. And after I take the clamps off, I'm very happy to see that it is very solid. Here I'm using the center finder, which I already have the center, but drawing some lines so I can cut it to round or partially round over on the bandsaw. So that's what I'm doing here. And here I have it mounted up on the lathe on the woodworm screw, and at first I'm going to be making it round. I can't remember the exact speed I had this up to, but with the tailstock, I would think I was able to get it initially up to 600 or 700, and then as it gets more round, I obviously increase the speed. So here I'm using a Carter and Son bowl gouge, which is what I use for most of this project. So after it's completely round on the perimeter, on the outside of the bowl, I am working with the skew chisel here to flatten what will ultimately be the bottom of the bowl. So working on the bottom of the bowl here, I'm starting to round over the corners, soften the edges a little bit, and this is a diamond parting tool that I'm using to make the recess. Again, working on rounding those corners, trying to get the shape, the rough shape that I'd like the bowl to be. Using a variety of cuts. I use the push cut and the pull cut, as you'll see in a minute. Now this is not a very large bowl. I think it's probably about 6.5 inches across and maybe 4.5 tall. So here I'm mixing up some epoxy, 5-minute epoxy with some pigment in it. The Padauk blank did have some cracks that I just wanted to be sure were completely filled and solid. I didn't want to have to sand away to get down to waste some material. So this is what I came up with, and I didn't want to use CA glue over the whole thing. So I used red to match the veneer. And here I am turning off the excess of the epoxy. Sanding, sanding, and more sanding. I sanded from 80 to 400 grit. And here I'm using the Axe abrasive paste, which I have to say works extremely well on all types of woods. And this is the first time I've turned Padauk in a while. I've turned it before, but the first time I've had the opportunity to use the Axe products with it. And as you'll see as the video continues, it does an awesome job. Very, very impressed. Here I'm using a Scotch-Brite pad in between coats. This is the step 2 of the Axe paste. So I'm rubbing that in and then buffing it off. Look at the shine already, and I'm not even finished. Really just so shiny. So I had a couple of cracks in the Padauk that I didn't get with the epoxy and pigment, so I'm using some black CA glue for that, and then I'll turn that away. Polishing paste, Axe polishing paste. Step 3 in that product line. You can just see it even before it stops, how shiny it is. So thanks a lot to Axe for letting me try the products. Really, really appreciate it. Big thumbs up. Here I'm taking it off the woodworm screw, and I'll be reversing it in the 4-jaw chuck in expansion mode to start hollowing out the inside. Again with the Carter & Son bowl gouge, starting the hollowing out process, just going slow, taking off a little bit of material at a time. Using some denatured alcohol to clean the dust and everything off for the final finishing. A little more sanding in some spots. Sometimes it's important to spot sand by hand as well as power sand. So I use both techniques, hand sanding and power sanding. So putting some sanding sealer on. It's a mix of 70-30 sanding sealer and denatured alcohol if you're interested. And using the axe on the inside of the bowl. And I ended up having to turn the black CA glue away on the rim, which I didn't film. So I end up using axe again on the top half of the outside to blend that all in. So here I'm doing that plus the inside. So I really, really appreciate everyone watching. I do have some pictures up at the end of this video, as well as a video of the final product. I really appreciate everyone's support. All the comments are very supportive. Really, truly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. It helps my channel. Giving a thumbs up lets YouTube know that people are watching and liking, i.e. that will get YouTube to put it in front of more people. So a big thumbs up is appreciated. Other than that, look me up on Instagram at PF Woodturning, as well as Facebook. And I will catch everyone next time. Stick around for the pictures and the video of the final product. Thanks, everyone. Cheers and peace out.